This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on December the 4th, 2015. Our time is 8:45 Mountain. Radio show runs on 630 CHED in Edmonton. Sunday afternoon at 3. If you ever miss a radio show, they are archived on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com and rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. Our radio show is portable. We go anywhere you do. Last week, we were on before the Grey Cup, and we have to congratulate our Edmonton Eskimos. Congratulations, Eskimos, on winning your 14th Grey Cup, the 103rd Grey Cup, Eskimos over the Ottawa Red Blacks. Congratulations. Don't forget, you can connect with Harold anytime at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a .53 carat Princess Cut Fancy Pink Argyle. We'll talk more about diamonds in the second half of the show. Lots of news this week, including Christie's Hong Kong Magnificent Jewel Sale. And there were some great items that went. We'll talk more about it in the second half of the show, but our featured diamond is a .53 carat Princess Cut Fancy Pink Argyle. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. As we start today's show, OPEC met. They produce 1/3 of the global oil supply. They decided to increase output to 31.5 million barrels per day from 30 million, a move that acknowledged OPEC members were pumping well above the current ceiling. And Harold will give us a quote here on how oil is doing momentarily. Jobs in the United States, they gained for the month 211,000 jobs. Their unemployment rate stayed at 5%. In Canada, we lost 36,000 jobs, unemployment at 7.1%. A lot of that had to do with the election. A lot of people were hired for the election. Obviously, it's over now, those people losing those jobs. And then in the United States, obviously, geopolitical is a big thing in the world today after the attacks in Paris. There was a terrorist attack in San Bernardino, California. And as more comes out, it looks like there is a connection or an affiliation to ISIS. And Harold, I know that we'll learn more about that as the days and weeks unfold. But yes, it's a scary time in the world when you see people attacking your own citizenry in your own country. A very bizarre situation in San Bernardino, California.
Certainly is, Randy, and it's a very, very sad day when something like that happens. Innocent people, getting killed over a situation like that. Evidently, they made reference to ISIS, and they were just in the Middle East, a few months prior to that. And what a horrible, horrible situation. And again, the whole of the United States is just reeling over the situation. It's on every single news station, and it's a frightening, frightening time in the world. There's no doubt about it. These type of situations are happening all over the world. In fact, on Friday morning in Egypt, or Thursday night, there was a terrorist attack there also, and 20-some-odd people were killed. So it's a very frightening time, not only, geopolitically, but the markets in general, everything happening. You got to be so sharp right now. You've got to really be aware of everything that's going on around you in order to protect yourself physically and financially. And again, we're going to try to help you with the financial part of it. We've been saying that the gold market was going to drop down to 1,000 and possibly down into the 900s due to the strength of the U.S. dollar. And that was definitely happening. In fact, this week, gold hit 1,050, where there is heavy support in the market at 1,050. So it didn't really break through that level. And then all of a sudden, on Thursday, you saw the market in gold go up about $15, and today on Friday, as we're taping the show, the market gold is up $25. So we're sitting right now at $1,087. So the fact is that during the week, I believe on Tuesday or Wednesday, the gold market was sitting at 1,050. On Friday, the market is $37 higher in 2 days. And basically what this tells me, the analysts are saying that the reason that gold increased was because of short covering and basically the price was too cheap. But the real reason, I believe, is that it's signaling that the Fed is not going to drop interest rates in December. That's the only thing that I can see. Because the fact is that the U.S. dollar fell with it, which tells me that a lot of the move in the U.S. dollar over the past couple weeks has been due to the fact that the analysts believe that the deal was already done, that they were going to raise interest rates in December, and they built it into the market. And that's why all during this week we saw the U.S. dollar above par. We had our two closes above par, which is extremely important. And even though the market dropped back down to 98 cents today, so we've seen a 2-cent retracement in the market, most of it coming on Thursday, the fact is that the U.S. dollar is still one of the strongest currencies in the world at this point and is definitely going higher. You know, we saw the two closes above par, which signals to me that the next major level is 102 in the U.S. dollar. And that is definitely going to happen, which means that gold is definitely going to continue to fall. So for speculators out there that are taking our advice and actually trading the futures market, I would be looking to short gold at this level. Again, I do believe that gold is going to drop down to 1,000, probably into the low 900 range, due to the fact that the U.S. dollar, in my opinion, is going to go to the 108 to 110 level, and it will happen fairly quickly. The other thing that happened is that crude oil is now broken below $40. It's at $39 and change. It's down substantially today based on the fact that OPEC is actually raising production. They're shipping more oil, which is ludicrous because it's already a saturated market. So the fact is that by increasing production, that's making the price of oil drop, and it's going to drop substantially. Again, I know that our friends and clients in Alberta don't want to hear this, but the fact is that oil more than likely is going to drop down into the low 30s, high 20s, because at the beginning of 2016, Iran is getting ready to ship oil. They're going to ship oil. The prices are going to be cheap. We're going to have a huge influx of oil on the market, as not only Iran is going to ship oil, but so is Russia. And if everybody is cheating, if all the OPEC and non-OPEC members are cheating, we're going to see a massive glut of oil in the marketplace. And again, it's going to drop the price of oil back down to around the $28 to $32 level. That's where I see the oil market bottoming out. So what that basically means is that the Canadian dollar is going to drop down substantially to around the 60-cent level. I know, again, that you don't want to hear that, but the fact is that that's what I believe is going to happen due to the fact that oil has got to fall, because there's nothing bullish in oil right now. There's a huge glut of oil, and now you've got all this additional oil coming onto the market. It's really a disastrous situation for crude. Now, the fact is that it leads to deflation, and that's a problem that the banks and the governments are dealing with right now, is very low interest rates. In fact, interest rates at zero. In fact, we're now looking at negative interest rates. So it's a crazy time. And for those that don't understand it, these are things that you need to understand. I've been talking to you lately about the opportunities and what's going to be happening with a cashless society. The more research I do on this, the more I'm convinced that it's right around the corner. In fact, there's reports out that in Cork, Ireland, they are now totally cashless. So is Denmark, and so is Sweden. So the fact is that only 7% of transactions are done in cash in the United States. Everything else is done via credit card, debit card, and there's going to be other situations to pay. The more research I do on it, the more frightening this situation becomes. So we're going to bring to you that virtual seminar in the first quarter of next year because there's a lot more work that needs to be done before I can present this to you. But you'll be able to attend my seminar from the comfort of your own home on our virtual seminar site, which means you'll be able to watch this seminar on your iPad, on your iPhone, and also on your home computer. So again, it's extremely important you understand what's going on at this point. Otherwise, you're going to make mistakes. There's not a lot of investment opportunities out there that are very positive at this particular point that aren't totally speculative. Trading in the stock markets, totally speculative. It's as bad as trading in a casino. If your retirement savings funds and all that are sitting in mutual funds, it's the same as being in a stock. You're going to lose your money. There is no doubt about that. The fact is that all those that are sitting in retirement savings plans in Canada right now, RRSPs, in most cases are either at break-even or losing, and this is after being in the market for 10 years. We've got a much better solution. We have investments based in U.S. dollars that are doing tremendously well for our Canadian clients. You've got to get out of the positions that you're in right now unless you're just a total speculator. But if you want a true and clear path to doing well in this type of an economy, just give me a call. I'll sit down with any client and discuss what your personal situation is and try to move you into the right direction. Because the fact is that we have some programs right now, some investment programs here that are doing tremendously well, that are returning way more than anything that's out there. And again, these are safe investments. So if you're not doing well in the markets at this point, if you're concerned about what's happening with your personal investments, your retirement savings plans, your stock portfolios, what's happening with gold and silver and oil and anything to do with that, please give me a call. I speak to about 30 to 40 clients a week that are calling because they're so concerned about which direction to take with their investments. I've got some great ideas for you and some opportunities that you could do extremely well with that are fairly conservative but returning very high rates of return. So again, Randy, at this point, again, we saw a big increase in the price of gold over the past 2 days, but I don't expect that to continue. I expect gold to fall back down to test the 1,050 level fairly soon. And as the U.S. dollar continues to strengthen, again, we anticipate that the price of gold will get down to 1,000, which is very heavy support. But if it breaks that 1,000 level, and the reason it would break the 1,000 level is strictly because of the strength of the U.S. dollar. So again, at this point, oil's dropping because there's a huge glut of oil, and OPEC is actually shipping more oil and pumping more oil than they were last month. And that's a disaster for the oil market and for the Canadian dollar. Again, if you're sitting in the wrong investments, you need to get in touch with me. I need to spend some time with you and to explain to you what your options are and how to make the maximum return on your invested dollar during these extremely difficult and confusing times.
Harold advocates hard assets like diamonds, gold, silver. This week's featured diamond from rarecoloreddiamonds.com is a 0.53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week. You can see video of the diamond. You can see the pink diamond there, a picture as well. In the second half of the show, Christie's Hong Kong had a magnificent jewel sale. We'll talk about auction results from that sale coming up in the second half of the program. Now, Harold touched on cashless society, and we look forward to that seminar that he's going to do coming up in 2016. There was another story from zerohedge.com. Greeks told to declare cash under the mattress, jewelry, and precious stones. So you can see what happens when governments get very desperate, as is the case in Greece. When earlier today we read a report in the Greek Economia, according to which Greek taxpayers would be forced to declare all cash under the mattress, including inside or boxes that contain more than 15,000 euros, as well as jewelry and precious stones, including gold, worth more than 30,000 euros starting in 2016. We assumed this had to be some early April Fool's joke or a mistake. After all, this would be merely the first step towards full-blown asset confiscation conducted so many times by insolvent governments throughout history. Once the government cracks down on those that make a mistake in their asset declaration form or simply refuse to fill out such a declaration, thereby making all the assets eligible for government confiscation. It was not a joke. In fact, we can send you our free weekly newsletter, and in the newsletter is the story. You can click on the link and see it. Here is the take of Keep Talking Greece, whose stunned response mirrors ours. Cash under the mattress totaling more than 15,000 euro, jewelry, and other valuable items such as diamonds and gemstones should be declared to electronic system of tax authorities, TaxisNet, as of Jan 1, 2016. Next to properties and vehicle and shares, now the taxpayers will also have to declare their deposits, and not only that, they will have to fill if they rent bank lockers, and if yes, also the name of the bank and branch if it's abroad. So you can see the extent that governments will go to when they have complete chaos, as is the case in Greece right now. Negative interest rates in Switzerland have started a bizarre debate among economists over whether cash should be abolished. And Harold touched on it earlier. Our children won't know what cash is. That's what Tim Cook of Apple said last week. We talked about it. In the Irish city of Cork, business leaders recently launched a 3-month pilot project to encourage customers to abandon the archaic use of cash by offering the chance to enter into a prize draw if they use electronic means of payment. It is a cheap, almost insulting inducement, but nonetheless probably an effective one. The ultimate aim of the scheme is to transform Cork into the first Irish city to go completely cashless. A few years ago, such an aspiration to do away with physical cash, a form of payment that has served mankind for better or worse, richer or poorer, for millennia, might have not seemed a little odd. Not anymore. Today, cities all over the globe and even entire nations appear to be in a mad rush to kill off cash. One obvious place that springs to mind is Scandinavia, where Denmark and Sweden are engaged in a neck-and-neck race to become Europe's first cashless nation. But the trend extends far beyond Scandinavia. In London, where physical money has been practically abolished from the public transit system, the borough of Brent has proudly declared itself the first district council to go completely cashless, with a little bit of help from MasterCard. Interesting. In May this year, the city of Bergamo launched an ambitious pilot scheme to become Italy's first cashless city. The initiative, which awards people who use electronic payments with discounts on retail products, is sponsored once again by MasterCard and Visa, along with Italian credit cards and banks. And Harold, when you start to see this happen, you have to become very wary. Obviously, Visa, they get paid along with MasterCard and American Express on transactions. That's how they make their money. And they're obviously pushing for a cashless society because the more transactions we make, the more money they make. And it is a very, very slippery slope. But you can see what's happening in the world today, negative interest rates. We're seeing people having to pay to have a bank account in a lot of countries. And now here we are moving towards a cashless society. I can't wait for your cashless society seminar coming up in 2016. It's going to be very interesting.
It sure is, but there's a lot to it. And again, really need to research it because I want to make certain that everybody gets the accurate situation. Do you know that 90% of the cash in the United States has traces of cocaine on it? Can you imagine how much money? And one of the other reasons that the governments are doing this cashless society is to draw out counterfeit money and to draw out drug money. So the fact is that you're only going to have a certain period of time in which to cash in your funds. And if at $5,000 which is the most you could put into a bank account today. Could you imagine, with all the cash out there, how it's going to be impossible for these drug dealers and people that have a lot of cash to get their money back into circulation? So, yeah, the seminar at the beginning of 2016 is going to be very important, because a lot of us have cash put away, especially after 2008, when the markets were so bad and the mortgage crisis and the banks were going under and everything. A lot of us have cash put away. So the fact is that after this seminar, you're going to understand what you're going to need to do, what markets are going to be affected by it, and how we can make money from it. And that's, one of the most important things. So again, this is definitely the route that the banks are going to. And you're 100% right, Wendy. The fact is they make transaction fees, and the amount of transactions that are going to be done, because you're going to pay with a credit card, a debit card, Bitcoins, or whatever it's going to be. The fact is that you're going to have to pay for everything, and the government is going to know every single penny that you make and every single penny that you spend. If you're a waitress, they're going to know how much you made in tips, and you're now going to have to pay taxes on that. But other things, there will not be any more bank robberies. Just think about it. There's no cash around. Nobody's going to be, breaking into a 7-Eleven and trying to steal cash. Those days will be gone. It's going to change the entire world. And again, it's going to be a very interesting seminar. So we'll keep you updated and definitely let you know when that seminar is going to be.
Connect with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a 0.53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. And following up on cashless society, we have another major sign that cash is dying. De La Rue, the world's biggest banknote supplier, is slashing its capacity from 8 billion notes a year to 6 billion. The company said it would close 4 of its 8 production lines and cut up to 300 jobs to save around 13 million. And that is pounds, 19.5 million US. De La Rue is struggling with falling profit margins and an increase in mobile internet-based payments, such as Apple Pay taking over from cash. The thing they say here that's interesting, the move to cut cash production comes as economists begin to debate eliminating paper money altogether. It all comes down to negative interest rates. Central banks, particularly in Sweden and Switzerland, have targeted negative interest rates as a way to turn savers into spenders and get the economy moving. The logic goes that by making people pay interest to banks for keeping deposits, they will change their behavior and spend money instead. The only problem is that anyone can escape having to pay money on savings by taking it all out in the form of cash and hiding it in a shoebox somewhere, making the negative interest rate policy less effective. What a crazy time that we live in, and one person that can help you make sense of it is Harold Siegel. And you can connect with him at 1-800-432-1022. Learn about investing in hard assets. Learn about the cashless society and negative interest rates, what that will mean for the world. A lot of people don't think it will happen here in North America. We will have to see. 1-800-432-1022. or rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, or 1-800-432-1022 to speak personally and privately with Harold Siegel about today's world financially and geopolitically. Going to come back and talk about diamonds as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping on December 4th, 2015. Our time is 9:10 Mountain. We were on before the Grey Cup game last week, the pregame show, and congratulations to our Edmonton Eskimos, winners of the 103rd Grey Cup, defeated Ottawa in a very tight game. The Eskimos winning their 14th Grey Cup. Congratulations to our Edmonton Eskimos, proud of the Eskimos. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a 0.53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. This is a beautiful diamond. And if you would like to get our free weekly newsletter, speak with Harold personally and privately at 1-800-432-1022 or rarecolorediamonds.com. We'll be happy to send out our free weekly newsletter to you. This week we have auction results from Christie's Hong Kong Magnificent Jewel Sale, which took place on December 1st, 2015 in Hong Kong, China. They had a flaming red ruby that fetched $18 million, and that was a record breaker. And on the colored diamond side of things, we can send out auction results to you. Lot 2078, a rare colored diamond and diamond ring set with a pear-shaped fancy intense pink diamond, weighing approximately 7.53 carats, flanked by half-moon diamonds mounted to gold. And it was a very nice ring. The estimate on it, $5.8 million. It went for $6.2 million. But there was one diamond, and it really caught my attention. It did really, really well. And it goes to show when you make that investment in quality, it is always paid back. It was lot 2065, a colored diamond and diamond ring by Cartier, set with an oval-shaped, fancy, vivid yellow diamond weighing approximately 7.28 carats, and it was flanked by pentagon-shaped diamonds mounted in gold and signed by Cartier. The estimate on it, Harold, and this diamond was VVS1 clarity, which is top-notch, which you offer. Yellow color, the estimate on $103,000 to $155,000. It went for $565,213. And you've said that for a long time. When you buy quality, you get the best diamonds. When you go to auction them off at a later time, you're going to be getting the best prices.
You better believe it. And again, the featured diamond is an outstanding diamond, not because it's an argyle pink. It's a princess cut, and it's over a half a carat, which is extremely rare. Fact is that 95% of argyle pink diamonds are under a quarter carat. So this is a very rare diamond in the sense that it's double that size, more than double that size. On top of that, the color is outstanding, and very, very seldom will you ever see a princess cut diamond. They're more difficult to cut. It's easier for a cutter to cut a radian cut diamond than it is a princess cut. So there's definitely a premium applied to having a diamond like this. So we're so excited about the diamond market in general. You know, with all the negative situations in the markets in general and everything happening around the world, you're looking at a very positive situation in diamonds right now, because the fact is that diamonds are portable private wealth. They're not the type of assets that are traded on exchanges like stocks and commodities and things like that. So you don't have the same type of pressure on the marketplace. Plus, you're talking about diamonds that in most cases are a one of a kind. The featured diamond this week, I can safely say that you'll never find another diamond available like that at this point. It's just an outstanding, outstanding diamond. The argyle mine is getting ready to close. It's going to close before 2020, which is only 4 years from now. We anticipate that the price of the diamond, similar to the featured diamond, can increase 5 to 10 times what the prices are right now. So we're extremely excited about that. And again, concerned about other situations, obviously a cashless society, obviously negative interest rates, obviously the manipulation of all the markets and everything like that. But the bottom line is that diamonds don't fall into that category. Diamonds are doing extremely well, as you can see by the auctions. And the fact is that we'll never see another situation like we have with argyle, because there is no mine in existence that does what the argyle mine does, which is produce 95% of a given colored diamond. So again, at this particular point, one of the best investments you could make is in rare colored diamonds, and we have got not only the most beautiful diamonds for you to invest in, starting at $20,000 and going up as high as $40 to $50 million. So, not that most of our clients can afford that. Most clients invest in diamonds that are under $100,000. But they have track records. Yellow flawless diamonds increase by 15% a year. Argyle pinks can do way more than that, because, again, there just won't be any more pink diamonds once this mine closes. So, again, just looking at the auction results, seeing what's happening in the overall business, I've never been more excited about what's happening than what's happening in the diamond market right now.
Connect with Harold. Take a look at our featured diamond of the week. It is an absolute beauty. It's actually a .53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Click on the link. You'll see video of the diamond there, and know that this diamond will go very, very quickly come Monday morning. If you're interested in investing in this diamond, call Harold Monday morning, 1-800-432-1022, or connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We do have those auction results from Christie's out of Hong Kong. We can send those to you. Petra discovered a major pink diamond, and it's going to be put up for auction. It is rough at this point. It's a 23.16 carat stone, and it's being called the Williamson Pink. It looks like it could go up for auction here shortly, and we will have a better idea at that time how much it's going to go for as well. Rio Tinto, they found in Canada, in the Arctic, a massive, and this is a white diamond now, 187.7 carat stone called the Davik Foxfire. And they actually think that that diamond could go for a lot of money. So it just goes to show what we're seeing here recently, these big diamonds being found. But the reason it's being promoted and advertised and in the news is it's so rare that you find these big diamonds. The rarest of the rare, they're like nature's art, like works of art, and they can obviously over time appreciate greatly in value. And there is a story this week. We have it in our free weekly newsletter, and this is out of the UK. Jewelry returns outperform UK equities, London real estate, according to Frank Knight. Jewelry outperformed UK equities and prime central London real estate over the past decade, generating a higher level of return and amid lower volatility. Well, jewelry and the this is the Knight Frank Prime Central London Residential Index, grew more than 100% in the past 10 years to the end of September. The former has outpaced the latter, a Knight Frank report showed. UK equities produced less than a 50% return over the same period. Jewelry grew 159% over the past decade, data from Knight Frank showed. Now, it went on to say it's also the third least volatile asset class, with gold at the highest level of the price swing spectrum and furniture at the lowest. One of the asset classes measured by Knight Frank over the period under review, pink diamonds. And Harold will like this. Pink diamonds surged 315% over the 10 years to June 30th. Blue diamonds soared 154%, and yellow diamonds jumped 50%. Over the 5 years to the end of the third quarter, jewelry has amassed 71%, and colored diamonds appreciated 43%. The short-term growth of colored diamonds has obviously been doing very, very well. And Harold, we're very excited to read a report like that. Obviously, it's one of those things that we know following auction results and from your own business, rarecoloreddiamonds.com and Diamond Atelier. We're seeing great price increases. And when we hear something like pink diamond surging 315% over 10 years, it doesn't surprise us at all.
You bet. That's an average of about 30% a year. So, again, you're talking about an amazing asset whose time has come in a world where you can't trust almost any of the governments, any of the banks, negative interest rates, no cash, all these things going on. We need to own the type of assets that the governments don't know that we own. And they're going to know everything eventually. But the fact is that there's a lot of money to be made in these type of alternative assets. And, again, we're here to help you. I've been in this business for half of my life now. I've been in this business for over 32 years, and the fact is that I know the markets extremely well, and again, I do a lot of research, and everything that I'm seeing is leading to changes that a lot of people are going to have a lot of issues with. So what we're trying to do is to make it easier for you to understand. We have a major seminar coming up in the first quarter of next year, but in the meantime, the offer is out to all of our Canadian listeners to the radio show and to all of our clients. If you need my ear, if you need to speak and want some direction as to what you need to be doing with your investments presently, I'm here to help 100%. All you need to do is give a call, and I'll take your call. If I'm busy, obviously I'll call you back and I'll go through your financial situation with you and make recommendations as to what you should and shouldn't be doing at this point. We have some programs right now that are doing extremely well, programs that are returning over 25% a year to our clients. So if you're not making that type of money, you need to get in touch with us ASAP.
Featured Diamond of the Week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com is a .53 carat Princess Cut Fancy Pink Argyle. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured Diamond of the Week. And Harold, I know, well, obviously we were just talking about jewelry and how well jewelry is done according to a UK index. What could a person do with a diamond like this, a rough diamond like this? Put it into a ring, put it into a jewelry piece? What would be the suggestion possibly?
Well, that would make it outstanding diamond rings. The thing is that if you look at what's happening at auction, in a lot of cases, a diamond as beautiful as the featured diamond put into a piece of jewelry could even increase the value of it. So, again, it would make a magnificent ring and it would make a magnificent necklace because the color on it is spectacular. And it's a princess cut, which is ridiculously rare. So I've seen them and made them into rings before, and they're amongst the most beautiful I've ever seen. And, again, they can increase the value of the diamond substantially by putting it into a beautiful setting.
Now, remember, last week we had the story about the Canadian company Lucara. They found an 1,111 carat diamond, and they expected they could get $60 million for it. They had been offered, I believe it was 40, and turned that down. Something to think about. You can see how red hot the diamond market is at this point. But one of the stories we had last week that I think is important to remind people about when you talk to talk about pink argyles, and that is the Argyle Diamond Mine and the Tender. The world's most expensive diamonds have all been sold. A collection of 65 rare pink and red diamonds from the Argyle Mine in the northwest of Australia has been sold in their global tender. The Argyle Pink Diamonds Tender, known as the Connoisseurs Collection, weighing a total of 44.14 carats and including 4 what are known as fancy red diamonds, went to bidders from 11 countries. Rio Tinto, the owner of the Argyle, doesn't reveal what the tender winners pay for their diamonds, but they can say that they had record prices from when this tender started back in 1984. And Harold, last week we had a heart-shaped pink diamond that was just absolutely gorgeous as a featured diamond. And you can see with the Argyle tender, here you have diamonds from a mine that's going to be shutting down in about 2020 that fill maybe half a champagne flute. And that is it for the entire planet. This is nature's art, nature's most beautiful art, and those that are actually investing in them, we're hearing that some of the diamonds are being hoarded because people know, investors know, that somewhere down the line, 90 to 95% of the world's pinks will be gone, and those that have them will be setting the price, and it will be substantially higher from where it is today.
You bet. I think it's one of the best investments we could ever make. And again, it's exciting. It's also, again, just such a beautiful, beautiful asset to own. So again, at this point, we feel that alternative assets, hard assets are definitely the way to go. We have other programs available for you that you could do tremendously well. Some of our clients are seeing as much as 25% return a year with us. So again, if you're not doing well in the markets, if you're concerned about your financial situations moving forward, please give us a call, and I will spend as much time as you need in order to explain to you what you need to do.
Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a French merchant and adventurer, was best known for acquiring the Tavernier Blue Diamond that he subsequently sold to King Louis XIV, first made a reference to pink diamonds in the early 17th century. Tavernier mentioned a very large pink rough diamond weighing over 200 carats shown to him by moguls in the Kingdom of Golconda in 1642. This diamond, named the Grand Table, had a value at 600,000 rupees at the time, is still the largest pink diamond recorded to date. The French merchant also purchased 2 pale pink diamonds around 1668, and drew pictures of the stones in his travel book. Since the 17th century, the value of colored diamonds has considerably increased. Fancy colored diamonds are rarer than near colorless diamonds, as their hues come from a disturbance during the formation process of the stone deep in the earth. For all colored diamonds except pinks, the color comes from trace elements that interfere during the formation of the crystal. A diamond is composed of pure carbon. It is the intrusion of another atom that causes the color: nitrogen for yellows, boron for blues. Concerning the pink diamonds, the color is a consequence of a distortion of the crystal structure of the stone. Although recently there was a study done, and they really do not know why pink diamonds turn pink. Fancy colored diamonds are rare in nature, but the intensity of the color is also an important characteristic of the stone. The GIA, they grade fancy colored diamonds, say faint, very light, fancy intense, fancy vivid colors are the most sought after. The amazing stone offered in auctions that obviously display very bright and deep, fancy, vivid purple, pink colors are going to go for unbelievable prices. The current record price ever paid at auction for a diamond or any other gemstone is the Graph Pink, a magnificent 24.76 karat fancy intense pink diamond, which sold at Sotheby's Geneva in November 2010 for $46.16 million. The current record per carat for fancy vivid pink diamond is $2.1 million, was set by a 5-carat diamond sold in Hong Kong in January of 2009. Last year in October, Sotheby's Hong Kong offered a 8.41 fancy vivid purple pink diamond, which sold for close to $18 million, a world auction record for a fancy vivid pink diamond. But Harold, we have a featured diamond this week that we're very, very proud of. It is it's a 0.53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. And the argyle mine is going away. This is an investment that is the rarest of the rare, and we encourage people to connect with you at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022. And I know that you speak with people on a daily basis and help them out with choosing diamonds for a diamond portfolio.
You bet, Randy. And again, the other major thing about that featured diamond is the size of it, because the 50 to 60 diamonds that argyle that Rio Tinto takes for the tender are diamonds over half a carat. So the chances of getting an argyle diamond over half a carat of quality is extremely rare. So this diamond, not only because of its size, is extremely rare, but on top of that, the princess cut, is one of the rarest cuts you can get and one of the most beautiful. So, again, very excited about what's going on at this point. We think we have a very good handle on our investments, and our clients are doing extremely well at this point. And if you're not in that category, you need to give us a call. We have some programs that could help you out tremendously and help you make a lot of money.
We have approximately 7 minutes left in our show here, Harold, and let's go through some of the other auction results from Christie's Hong Kong Magnificent Jewel Sale, December the 1st, 2015 in Hong Kong, China. We know that, and obviously it's not something that we really specialize in, but they had a flaming red ruby that fetched $18 million at Christie's, and that was a world record per carat of $1.2 million. But we had lot 2078, a rare colored diamond and diamond ring, set with a pear-shaped fancy intense pink diamond weighing approximately 7.53 carats. The estimate on it, $5.8 million, went for $6.2. Lot 2075, a rare colored diamond and diamond ring set with a cushion-shaped fancy intense pink diamond. The weight, 5.22 carats. The estimate on it, $3.2, went for $4.4. Lot 2040, an important colored diamond and diamond ring set with a pear-shaped fancy brown pink diamond, and that weighed approximately 15.18 carats. The estimate on it, around 1.6. It went for 1.7. Lot 2061, an important colored diamond and diamond ring set with a square-shaped fancy vivid yellow diamond weighing approximately 13.79 carats. The estimate on it, 939. Actually, it was 933,000. It went for a little over a million, about 1.1 million. Lot 2067, an important colored diamond and diamond ring by Cartier. And this actually did very well at auction. It was set with a cushion-shaped fancy vivid yellow diamond weighing approximately 7.16 carats. The estimate on it was $648,000, and it ended up going for $876,000. Harold, we will be happy to send out these auction results to those that are interested from Christie's sale December the 1st. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, or call 1-800-432-1022. And definitely ask Harold about our featured diamond of the week, a .53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com and click on featured diamond of the week, see the video of the diamond, and you can see a picture of the diamond there as well. But the auction results from Christie's, very, very good, Harold. We have more auctions before the end of the year. We will keep people up to date on how those auctions go as well. Some of the rough diamonds that are being featured around the world, the big rough diamonds that are being featured could potentially go for $60 million or more. And when they do, we'll definitely let people know about that as well. I know that you have a rough diamond, and you're in the process of looking at turning it into a piece of art, and it's quite a process, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. And again, the rough diamond business is a very, very profitable part of the business because, again, what you're looking at is in most cases the mines are already owned outright. So the only cost of bringing diamonds out of the diamond mine are the labor. And some of the diamonds that come out of the mine are extraordinary. So, again, we've been into the rough mining business for a long time. In fact, my partners are fourth generation miners. So again, I'm learning a lot more about the mining business, and it's not only exciting, but extremely profitable. And again, we have some opportunities in the mining business for our clients that I think our clients are going to do extremely well with, so we're very excited about it. But the rough diamond business is extremely important and very profitable, and again, we have opportunities in that area.
It's nature's art, the most secure and profitable investment. Millions of years of the making, rare colored diamonds. Nature's art, private, portable, stable wealth. Speak with Harold today about starting your own diamond investment portfolio, or receive a free copy of our weekly World Financial Report on Radio newsletter. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, or call 1-800-432-1022. That's 1-800-432-1022. And definitely take a look at our featured diamond of the week. It is an absolute beauty. This is something that would be a great starter for any diamond portfolio. A .53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle from the Argyle mine. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com and click on featured diamond of the week. Harold, we have approximately 1 minute left here. We say to people, get our free weekly newsletter, look over the material regarding cashless society, look over the material of negative interest rates. For those that think that it may not come to North America, don't kid yourself. At this point, we do not know what's happening in the future, and one should always be prepared for financial and geopolitical events. You bet. It's a scary time. Again, it's a scary time not only in North America, but all over the world. And again, everything is going to affect us in some way, shape, or form. So, again, keep listening to the radio show. Get our free newsletters. If you're confused about what's going on in the world today, please give me a call, and I'll explain everything to you and give you what your options are. So, again, at this point, congratulations on Edmonton winning the Grey Cup. That's sensational. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day. Our radio show runs on 6:30 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. If you ever miss a radio show, don't forget they're archived on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. Our radio show is portable. We go anywhere you do. And this week's featured diamond, a .53 carat princess cut fancy pink argyle, can be seen at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Speak personally and privately with Harold about any questions you have about the world financially and geopolitically. The call is free, and obviously the conversation is 100% confidential. 1-800-432-1022 or rarecoloreddiamonds.com. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.